Welcome. Today I will go over unboxing along with a quick overview of the Poco C40. So, without wasting any more time, let's just pop it straight open. Oh, it looked like that might be a little bit more, there we go, difficult, but you can see the 10-watt charger right here, hopefully. Super small, but anyway. So that's basically all we get in a box. So we got the phone cable and a charger, which honestly, having a charger in a box nowadays might be a rarity. Have a little sticker right here. Just gonna pull information in this catchy yellow color, just as the back is, though it's a little bit more faded right here. But 6.7-inch display, 6000 mAh battery, 13 megapixel dual night mode, dual cameras, and high performance octa-core processor. I'm gonna check out the actual specs right here, because I did forget to open up the page for this. So, there we go. Okay, so honestly I'm gonna turn it on right now. Come on. There we go. Okay, so while it's turning on, I'm gonna quickly go into the specs of the phone. So apart from the 6.7-inch display, we have a resolution right here at 720 by 1650. So it's just a HD resolution. It's an IPS LCD display. It has no high refresh rate whatsoever, so just a typical 60 Hz refresh rate. 82% screen to body ratio with 268 pixels per inch, covered by Cornell Gorilla Glass, but it doesn't really state which one. And that is just the screen up front. Then we have a plastic body, as you can obviously see right here. We do have, I think, a fingerprint sensor at the back. I think that's what it is. But holy heck is it high if that is a fingerprint sensor. Now let's quickly go through the setup. Now while I'm going through the setup, I'm going to quickly mention a couple additional things. So I did state that the phone has like some dual camera setup. Now to be more precise, if I flip it over, you can see we have just two cameras, so these two, and these are like really budget cameras. So we're looking at a 13 megapixel wide sensor and a 2 megapixel sticker camera that's called a depth sensor. So in reality you only have one camera. That's basically the gist of it. Don't get fooled by the dual camera setup. The sticker 2 megapixel trash shit camera doesn't really equate to any kind of usable case scenario right here. And most of the time, I'm not sure if this will be right here the case, if a phone uses that depth sensor, because some phones just, from what I can see, don't use it, if it uses it, it usually ends up making the photo look worse than it would normally do. And usually the depth sensor is being used when you turn on the portrait mode. So in portrait mode it tries to create that fake bokeh effect, which it uses also the depth sensor for it. And if you have hair, you can prepare yourself for some atrocious like haloing effect, basically, where your hair just straight out cuts out and becomes fully blurred at moments where the algorithm and the 2 megapixel depth sensor decided to, yeah, that's just the background. So I wouldn't probably recommend using the portrait mode if it uses the depth sensor, because it will make the photos come out worse. Now, when I was going through the setup, I did see that there was a fingerprint sensor, so this is it, and it has a very unfortunate place. I don't know how you guys hold your phone, but for me, if I have my, for instance, thumb on the power button, which is kind of gives the more comfortable way of holding it, so I can always like get it, press it. My finger barely touches the fingerprint sensor. So I literally need to do like some stretch so I can press it. And obviously if you have smaller hands than me, then you're completely bummed out right here, because even if you hold the phone a little bit lower, so you can just cover most of the bottom screen, your finger ain't anywhere near the sensor. So this is some really odd placement for a fingerprint sensor. And it's still loading up. Now, anyway, let's touch upon a couple additional things. So at the bottom, we have the microphone, the speaker grill, and the Type-C charging port. Nice that there is a Type-C charging port. I still see phones that are budget devices that come with the atrocious micro USB. In 2022, it's time to, I think, stop that. Just get rid of it. I don't care how much it costs, but just get rid of it. It's been years for it to finally like drop that port. And anyway, at the top we do have a headphone jack, which is a surprise, honestly. The device isn't that thick, so having one here is a nice addition. And look at that, I think I just finished up the setup. Still thinking. Okay, anyway, while it's thinking, I'm gonna quickly go into a couple additional things. So it's running a chip that I have never seen before, so I have no idea what it is. It's labeled as JLQ RJ510, 11 nanometer. It's an octa-core processor that is basically clocked at 2 gigahertz on all 4 cores, Cortex A55, and yeah, and GPU Mali G57. That one I know. But based on the price and how quickly it went through the setup, something tells me that this is like super budget processor, because this is one of the longest like loading setups that I have ever seen, especially like nowadays. So the price might be a little bit high for that. Now later on you will most likely see a video from us that goes over the benchmarks of this phone, so you can see from there how good this processor is. That's the first time I'm encountering it, so I have no idea how well it runs. But just looking at how the phone already performs straight out of the box, it's not the best experience. So yeah, I can kind of see it lagging behind. Now, I understand this is a budget device, but this budget device comes at around $180 US. And for $180 US, this doesn't really perform too great. Now, to be fair, it might still be loading stuff in the background that is taking up CPU performance. So it is working a little bit more sluggishly, and once it loads up everything, it will start performing way better. But that is just an assumption, which will probably be visible later on once the benchmarks are also out. So yeah, anyway, to finish this off, we do have this device that comes at a couple different colors. So the one that I have right here, you can clearly see it's a Poco yellow, as it's called. It's a very vibrant yellow, but we also have a coral. There we go. That's really hard to pronounce for me. Green and powder black. Now, this one looks really nice. Now, it's not just the back isn't just like a flat plastic. You can kind of see it right here. It has this kind of like leathery texture look to it, though it's completely plastic, so there is no fooling you. But it has this like weird leather-like look to it. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say about it. One more thing that is worth mentioning: this device has a, I believe, dual SIM tray with expendable storage. But just to be sure about it, I'm gonna pop out the tray. Yep, dual SIM tray and an SD tray. And when it comes down to storages that you have right here, you have the option of 32 gigabytes of storage with 3 gigs of RAM, or 64 gigs of storage with 4 gigs of RAM. Truth be told, if you're planning to pick up this device, I would probably recommend going for the higher model, 64 with 4 gigs of RAM. And this will ensure that you have at least some modicum of respectable amount of RAM for running your apps. And obviously the 64 gigs of storage will be a nice addition with that as well. Even though you can expand it further, I think having just base storage a little bit higher than like 32 might be more beneficial. That is my personal opinion right here. But if you feel differently, obviously go for whichever one you can afford or whichever one you prefer. So yeah, there we go. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.